been raining all day, which is great for my outdoor morel patches. Hope they turn out. And inside my greenhouse, you can see I have a lot of plants in 5-gallon pots, which, by the way, if you ever buy these size pots, they're actually not 5-gallon, they're more around 4-gallon. Not really sure why they sell them as 5-gallon other than to sell you less plastic. But anyhow, I have 3 different varieties of cucumbers growing. And the pots, these ones are called Brown Russian. And they'll end up being a kind of a fat slicing cucumber that's brown skinned. Probably the best tasting cucumber that I've ever grown, and I do them every year. You can see the vines are getting healthy. I transplanted them about 2 days ago from 1/2-gallon pots because they were getting way too big. I even have some cucumbers already growing on them. You can see one here. Lots of flowers with cucumbers and other cucurbits. They usually put off a whole lot of male flowers first. About 20 male flowers to 1 female flower. You can see actually a whole lot of flower pods on the ground that have already fallen off. But with that many flowers in here, and I leave the doors open to my greenhouse so the wind blows by and gets some air circulation, I get pollen blowing from them, and really it's self-pollinating. Don't even really need some insects, I don't think. Although I'll probably still do some hand pollination, which it's really easy. You just take, like a finger or a paintbrush, and you find a male flower. You just kind of like stick your finger in it and then go through each one. Of course, how you tell a male flower from a female. It's kind of hard, but usually the female ones, it sticks out a bit farther, and it gets bulbous underneath of it. I don't see any, but for instance, here's a small one going. I got pollinated. Yeah, so I'm thinking that they'll be pretty much self-pollinating. They actually sell strains of cucumbers that do self-pollinate. I can't remember what the term is. I think it's like pantheocarpic or something like that. I'll post in the description. But besides those, I have Armenian cucumbers that will make like a long skinny one. That really good flavor, good snacking cucumber. But you can see they're just flowering, and I'm hoping I can just keep these in the 1/2-gallon bags. You see the grow bags until it's warm enough outside that I can put them in beds. And I was originally going to put all these in raised beds, but I really planted these cucumbers too early. But yeah, if I got to put everything in pots, that's alright. I'll just do greenhouse cucumbers and have cucumbers before everyone else. And then the third variety I have, these ones are called lemon cucumbers. You see, they're a bit more of a stout plant. Thicker stems, they're kind of standing up on their own. And they're just started to flower. And these ones will make about that size yellow striped cucumbers. Kind of a lemon color, that's why they call it like that. I've never grown them before, but I have farmer friends that have them. They say they're great, and recommended that I should try them. So I'm not going to let all these vines just grow wild in here. That would be a really bad idea. And 2, I'm going to move these 4 pots up on the top to the bottom here, underneath this the shelf here and the shelf here. And the reason why is because it's going to get really hot in here, in the next month or two. I'll probably remove these top panels in the greenhouse. Maybe put a fan up there too, and that'll help cool things off. But when you have a small greenhouse like this, really even any greenhouse, you want to keep your plants as low as possible in the middle of the summer. It's going to get hot. But right now, the possibility could be too cold. I have a space heater running in here for nights when it does get too cold, but it can still dip below 50 degrees, and they don't really like that. I can tell they kind of sag and wilt a little bit until the sun comes up and heats them up again. But yeah, they're doing great though otherwise. I'm going to use some of this sisal rope you can see here. I just got this at my local Tractor Supply, and it's like a hemp twine, but it's really strong. It'll last one season if you use it outside for things, because it'll rot away because it is hemp, and if it'll get wet and moldy eventually. But it's great for putting up string for vines to grab hold of, because it has all this texture to it that the little feelers on your vines will wrap around really easily. So I'm going to hang a bunch of this up in strips from the top of my greenhouse. I have lots of like little holes in the rails that I can attach to. And maybe I'll make a bit of a grid of it too. So I'll get to work on that and see what I come up with. You can see I have string running up, and then I have one line going across, so it'll have a bit of growth going across the greenhouse as well. Decided to set these up so that two of the pots are running across this back shelf on both sides, so they can have that back shelf area to produce cucumbers. And I'm trying to do no more than 2 vines going up each string. I'm pretty sure I can do more than 1. It'll have a lot of production in a small amount of space. It's been pretty cool these past few days. They really haven't grown too much. It's about 2 days later since I had this video, and getting some more cucumbers, but they haven't really increased in size much yet. You can see here's a couple decent sized ones. Flower's not even dead and falling off it yet. So hopefully as the temperature goes up in here, they'll start growing faster. I still have my other set of Armenian and lemon. You can see these ones are getting really long. I'm gonna get them into 5-gallon pots tomorrow too. Yeah, you can hear just how windy it is today, banging around the polycarbonate panels in this greenhouse. It gets pretty loud. And then my lemon cucumbers, they're getting big too. I'm gonna put them in 5-gallon pots as well. And then I'm gonna use this side over here, get some more shelving, and pretty much do the same setup. I can use the rungs up here going across and just tie more strings to it, and then maybe actually some strings going across the top, but as long as it's not too high up and getting too hot, they should do fine. And that triangular panel at the top there and that one there, I'm going to try to remove, and that'll let this greenhouse breathe the heat out a lot better. Even though it has 2 of these windows, it's not enough. I can open the bay doors all the way, put a fan in here, but if it's 95 degrees and sunny out, it'll get really hot in here. Alright, well, I'm gonna set all these up, run more string, and then show you all how it looks in here. It's gonna be nice and green, kind of a nice private kind of scene, you know. It's about 5 days later. You can see over here that I've transplanted all my Armenian and lemon cucumbers into 4-gallon pots. Same setup, only I've made one of these lines for each pot. No 2 vines per line, so hopefully I get it spaced out a bit better. And then I'll probably run line from about here across. Again, I don't want them growing all the way to the top of the greenhouse because it's going to get hot up there, and I want the space open so I can vent everything. But yeah, I'll try to let them grow up this side and all over the top. You can see they're making little cucumbers everywhere. There's a couple fat ones right there. Brown Russian. Still have the flowers attached. There's a nice fat one growing up here. You can see too, they start making them really close to the growth tip. You know, right off the start. And you'll have some that will abort, like this one I can tell is going to abort. See how it has like little black spinies on it? It'll eventually fall off. But yeah, they should have a dark green color when they start off. Let's see, there's a real tiny one starting out right there. But yeah, doing really well for being in pots. I looked up some videos on greenhouse cucumbers, and they do look pretty successful for something to do in a greenhouse. And like last year, I tried tomatoes in a greenhouse in pots, and that was a disaster. None of these have any fruits popping off them yet. Probably because I waited so long. You can see the vine is already about 2.5 feet long. So I should see some fruit starting off on these in the next week. Now it won't take long for the small ones to get it to a full-size cucumber. Really, once it starts getting hot, you can get a full-size cucumber in a week. Of course, being in pots, I don't know how large they're going to get. I don't know how fast they're going to mature. This is all really an experiment. But yeah, here in hopefully about a week or two, I'll have my first brown Russian cucumbers to show you.